Okay, so I'm going to try to do your reading. I keep getting interrupted. This is about the third or fourth time I've tried to record this video. But yeah, so I will try to get through this without any interruptions. My son might come down, my dog might come down, but I will try to go through this. So I am going to do a new spread that I haven't done before. It is for twin flames, since that was your request. So if this one doesn't make sense, I also have what's called a character profile spread. That kind of gives you a personality trait and goals and wishes of a person that I could try towards him. So if this one doesn't make sense, just let me know and I will try to kind of figure out another spread for you. So this one, it is a twin flame. It's an 8-card spread with a 9th card clarification card at the very end. So the first card will represent your feelings or emotions towards relationships and your goals and what you want deep down in a relationship. The card that I pulled for you for that is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is admired, adored, seeking affection. If you could see in the background, it's either a lake or the ocean, and she is actually a siren or a mermaid. And I don't know if you know mythologically what mermaids do or what sirens do, but they are adored by men. They often seek sailors and pirates to their death with their call. Let me read my notes. Like in the other reading, what I do is read the cards, get my general feeling of what I got from the cards, and then I go back in my tarot books and make a Mod Podge note of what I feel. So with the Queen of Cups, it says loved, admired, desired, love object, beauty, mermaids, sirens, need for blurring boundaries. So in your previous reading, it talks about you or someone overstepping their boundaries, and this is coming up again. So I believe that either you or him know that you're overstepping boundaries, and I don't know if this is an issue that you have had in your past, that you have had with past relationships. I don't know if you get bored easily in relationships, but it talks about overstepping boundaries. And since this is your soul capacity or your readiness to serve your twin flame. Hey, sorry, Jude's gonna be making a bunch of noise. Hey buddy, it makes it hard to concentrate. So again, blurring boundaries uninhibited, connection with her feelings. Feelings are important, passion, excitement. So you need a lot of passion and excitement going on in your relationship, or you kind of get sidetracked, basically. Need to understand and reflect upon her feelings. That came up in your previous reading, the need to self-reflect what are your goals in a relationship? What are your expectations? What is your standard? Basically, what you look for in a relationship. That's coming up again, that you need to reflect. Self-reflection, what you want in a relationship and where you want to be in life. So that comes up again. Provokes a profound love, object of another sincere affection. So I don't know if this is talking about you being adored, or if it's you adoring your twin flame, or bringing up your soulmate. Faces life-changing experience. There's irrational feelings, use of the conscious mind, think logically. So there's fear, joy, and sorrow that come up with this card. So irrational feelings could be because you're bored or feel like you're kind of stuck in the situation. This might be bringing up these issues. That is the irrational part. Again, it talks about the conscious mind. So instead of living in the dream fantasy world of what could be, you need to think rationally and use your conscious mind. What is happening now that affects this situation? Again, it brought up joy and sorrow. So either way, either your soulmate or your twin flame, there's chances of joy and sorrow. That is that is an actual thing that we go through, humans as a whole. There's joy and sorrow. They're partnerships, basically. You can't have joy without sorrow, and vice versa. They're together. And if you leave your soulmate, there's both joy and sorrow. And if you let go of your twin flame, there's joy and sorrow. So it's a partnership, basically. And that's what that confrontation basically comes up. So the second card that I'm going to pull for you is the Star card. This will represent your soul's purpose. Sometimes when I pull cards, it really doesn't click with me. Like, I can't understand how this card could represent the meaning of what it's supposed to mean in the spread. So this one, sometimes I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. And if it does make sense to you, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. So the Star card, it talks about light after dark, hope, inspiration, and promise. There's a nakedness. I don't know if you could see in the card, but the lady is naked. This represents truth. Talks about being honest with yourself and others. A rebirth. I don't know if you could see in the picture, but that little bird in the tree right there is an ibis. That represents the soul rising. When you say soul rising, that...
See, we need to build a garden.
Okay, buddy. Okay, so the soul rising is bettering yourself, basically. What can you do to better yourself in the situation? Taking both these guys, let's see, there's two. Taking both into consideration, or not taking both of these into consideration. What is best for you? The stars. Stars are usually a symbol of guidance and inspiration, promise of eternal life. It talks about morals, and it brings up, I don't know if you are religious in any way, but it talks about Jesus and his birth, because the Star of Bethlehem. Wishing upon a star, dreams, goals, sense of purpose, optimism, not to give up, expectations, storm arising. So these are all aspects of this card that come up in this reading. Again, I didn't click with this card. Sometimes there's just blockages. Maybe it makes sense to you. I don't know if you are religious in any way, but it talks about keeping your morals, basically, in mind when you're making decisions and that sort of thing. Ambition, expectations, storms arising. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I really don't know how to make sense of that card. If it makes sense to you, awesome. My son's making a bunch of noise with the dog upstairs. I hear him. Okay, so the next card that I pulled represents your twin flames' soul purpose. I did not like this card. This is the Four of Cups. This card represents his sole purpose and his inner feelings. And I have a feeling that these habits of kind of moving on when you're in a relationship before it's ended is a habit of his, that he gets bored very easily, and that this isn't a new thing for him. Again, I don't know either of you personally, but this is the gut instinct that I get from this card and the reading, that this isn't new for him. He tends to move on really quickly, and that's something that you need to keep in mind, that if you decide to move toward this direction, towards the twin flame, that you need to keep in mind that if this is what he's willing to do when he is married, what are the chances of him being faithful with you? So that's something that comes up with this card. So let me read the notes real quick. Boredom, world weariness, tedium. Tedium is basically boredom. Portrays a man with cups in front of him. I don't know if you could see. There's cups in front of him, and he's actually being offered another cup. Not easily satisfied, discontented, abundance of possibilities being offered. So he has many possibilities. He has all these offers. So again, I don't know if that's just his personality, that girls like to come on to him, or if he has many offers of girls offering to him, if this is a habit for him. But he has all these options in front of him, and you may not know it or suspect it or what have you, but if he's willing to do this with you, what's he doing with other people? So keep that in mind. Says no attempt to reach out. So when I read that,
Mom, I gotta go poop. Just remember.
okay, let me know.
When I just flush the toilet, you gotta come up.
Call my name and I'll come.
I will leave this door open so you can hear
Jude
the
needs
flush.
poop. Just letting me know. Okay, so he has no attempt to reach out. Maybe he's just entertained by the thought of being able to possibly get more attention from other places. There's a deep feeling of discontent, displeasure, no valid reason for this. Bored, disgruntled, something wrong with habits, not new behavior, soul searching, not healthy. Okay, so yeah, I have a feeling that this is in his nature to do this sort of thing too, that it's not a healthy relationship if you go with this guy. That this is something that either he's used to doing and you should be wary of it, or if he might not be satisfied if you guys decide to proceed. But yeah, I have a feeling that's just how he is, and you need to be aware of it. The next card that I pulled for you represents karmic issues, a challenge. What are your obstacles? The Three of Pentacles reversed. Reverse cards have multiple meanings. It could mean the opposite of what the card actually means, or it could mean other people's feelings towards the situation or your feelings towards the situation. It just has opposite meanings. So I'll go ahead and read what it means. It sounds like Jude is needing me, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Where was I? Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, darling. Okay, this is the challenge or issues that you will face. Okay, so this card often represents The beginning or initial completion of a project, recognition through hard work, perseverance. There's a lot of talk happening, not necessarily action, but there's lots of talk going on. There's a pause in proceeding. Something comes between you two. Talk about how actions will affect outcome, reflection, material, reward, gain, or loss. Hard work, effort, pride, satisfaction with self, positive energy. Okay, so it is reversed, so I have a feeling that this is a negative card. There's lots of talk of what could happen between you guys, basically. But nothing really actually happens. It talks about possible loss of what material loss that you could face if you proceed, that you need to be aware of. That what can your actions do that will affect your overall life? If you decide to go through with it, what will happen? And this is what this card talks about. Are you willing to sacrifice your lifestyle for this person? Or what will you materialistically gain from moving away from your soulmate? So these are all questions that you need to ask yourself, and that could pose a possible issue, or my lamp keeps flipping. That's what could pose a possible issue or challenge for you, is a lot of talk and not much action. Like, he might tell you all these things and lead you on, basically, and it might not go anywhere. So that's something that comes up. Okay, so the next card that pulls up, it talks karmic issues challenge with your twin flame. So this is another challenge between you two. And the card that I got for that is, I don't know if you could see that, but the Nine of Wands reversed. Again, reversed cards have multiple meanings. Difficult times must be met with strength and determination, standing ground, battle for territory, defending with caution, dreams dented, damaged, determined, protecting what's dear to him, reserve strength and courage, difficult times, self-discipline and control. Again, I'm not getting too good of feelings with this twin flame. I'm not. I hate to be honest or blunt, but it talks about standing ground and defending what's dear to him, and self-discipline, control. I don't see him actually wanting to go forward. So, yeah. The next card that I pulled for you represents how you guys are connected. And this card, I don't know if you can see, the King of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords, to me, hold on a second. Okay, he smacked his mouth. He's fine now. The King of Swords, to me, represents an authority figure. Come on, man. Stop. Okay, so the King of Swords represents an authority figure. How you guys are connected. The word military comes up. So I don't know if either one of you were involved in the military or the armed forces, but it talks about your connection with that sort of thing. There is a hierarchy of authority that happens with how you are connected, and that's why military is brought up. There's wisdom, advisor. Did you guys possibly work together? That you guys often see each other. Someone who teaches values. So I don't know how that connects, you guys. If you aren't working together, maybe you share a common lifestyle. Maybe you both served in the armed forces and you could relate to each other on that aspect. But I feel like that's kind of what brought you guys together. Your commonness. So the next card that I pulled for you, this is the divine guidance. What brings you guys closer together? Okay, again, this is what brings you guys together. It kind of plays on the last card, that what brings you guys closer. And the card that I pulled for you is reversed, but it is the Eight of Pentacles. Love of learning, willing pupil, apprentice, skill or trade, chosen craft, chance to work towards something to gain true personal fulfillment, desire to improve, progression for the better. So again, I'm going to relate this to a certain craft or tradesmanship that you guys share, that you guys have a common interest. And that's what brings you closer together. That's what makes you feel like you have a closer connection, basically, that your soulmates, quote unquote, don't relate to as much, and the twin flame kind of relates more to it because you both have lived it, if that makes sense. So the next card, the next card represents the outcome. Okay, so the Chariot is the outcome. What is gonna come of all this? Okay, so I still get that you're gonna be pulled in different directions. That's what this card represents. I don't know if you could see, the rider is being pulled in two separate directions. There is two horses, one's leading this way, one's leading this way, and the rider just wants to go straight. So each of these horses, or your twin flame and soulmates, are opposites, complete opposites. Maybe like personality wise, they're complete opposites. And this person, again, just wants to go straight. And this card to me represents, again, I don't know if you remember the last reading, but I brought up the Tower card, and the Tower card, I'm going to also reflect towards this card. This person needs to focus on themselves, not where they're going, but on themselves. Let me read my notes, what I wrote. Triumph over difficulty, struggles, battles, positive outcome, the horses pulling in two different directions, major choices, opposite natures. The guys have opposite natures. They're different personalities. They're very different. Balancing of opposites, steer middle course, work on oneself, calm, balance needed, and stability. So again, what is going to benefit you the most? You need to do some soul searching. Like I said earlier, about how or what you want out of your life. What do you want out of relationship? This card tells me that's what you need to do, is to focus on you. What will benefit you and your overall life. Without taking these guys out of the whole perspective, what can you do to not be in this situation again? I'm not saying that either one is a bad choice or your need to explore is a bad choice, but I have a feeling that there's deep down inside issues, that inner conflicts that you are dealing with, that provokes this in your life. And that's what this card talks about. You need to find a calm and a balance. How can you balance yourself in a healthy way to make the right decision? So the last card is the clarification card. That is the Three of Cups.
I think you said that.
There's 3 people in this card. 3 cups and decisions to be made.
I think you already said that.
No, I didn't, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, so usually this card portrays a happy event, like a graduation or some kind of ceremony or what have you. But this isn't a lifelong, everlasting happiness. Does that make sense? This is a spur of the moment, sporadic thing that will not lead to everlasting happiness. Now, to me, it feels like you have all this outpour of emotion and feelings bottled up, and you're trying to find a way to express these emotions, and there might be a lot of emotions tied to both the soulmate and the twin flame. But the twin flame seems to be a spontaneous thing. It's not going to last, basically. What you need is a base for future growth, if that makes sense. Like, you need a good foundation. Like, if you're building a home, you need a good foundation. You can't lay your house on a pile of sand and expect it to not cave in. So what you need is a good foundation, and a good foundation isn't based off of mistrust, basically. And that's what that card tells me, is like, that's what you need to focus on, is living healthier, doing some soul searching and figuring out how you could benefit your life. Not focusing on all these other people, but you need to focus on yourself. Because I feel like there's some inner demons happening inside that you're trying to deal with, that you're trying to search for happiness in all these other places instead of focusing on what you could do to make yourself happy. Again, I don't know if any of this makes sense. I'm sorry if it's kind of blunt, but this is my gut feelings and what the cards say. And if this isn't exactly what you were looking for in a reading, I could try, I forget what that other one is, character profile spread about your twin flame, the other person. So yeah, just let me know. I hope it helps, and I hope you have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.